Okay, so I'm going to show you how to solder. For those of you who already know how to solder, you can go on to the next section, but the ones that don't, stick around because we're going to have to show you a few things. So you have a few tools for soldering, but before I get to that, let's tell you what really soldering is. So soldering is basically connecting two metals together and covering that with solder material. Now the important thing is when you go to solder, you want to make sure those two metals or those two wires are actually physically touching, and you're kind of using the solder to encase the whole thing. So now some little safety measures before. You are burning stuff, so there's a lot of fumes that come off, so you're going to want to do this in a well ventilated area, or you're going to want to have a fan nearby or outside. So, and then also another safety thing is you are melting stuff. So you got your soldering gun. This whole tip gets hot, so make sure you don't lay it on something or you are not touching it, because that can burn you. So, but tools for soldering. So you saw the soldering gun. This is it, soldering tip, and then this goes to kind of our temperature gauge type deal. So we can set the temperature on how hot we want the soldering gun to be. Now there are some other models, ones that just plug right into the wall, where you don't get to control the temperature. We like to use kind of the higher end one because controlling the temperature will save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches. So nice to get the bigger model. We also have our solder material, and this comes in a variety of sizes. This one's a little on the thinner side, but there are ones that are a lot thicker. But for what we're doing today, it's best just to go on the thinner side because you can always add more solder in. And then we kind of have our clamps, so we can easily hold our wires together. So I'm going to turn on soldering gun and go from there. Prep a little bit of solder, have that out and ready. And during this time, when the gun's heating up, you're going to want to set all your wires together. So put your wires in the alligator clips and make sure those again are physically touching, so you won't have to worry about the solder being the connection between the two. So soldering gun is ready, and what we're going to do this time is you have a sponge right here that you should get wet, just damp. Okay, if there's a little excess water, squeeze it out, have that set, and we're going to clean off the tip here. So after every time you solder, you should put a little bit of solder right on the tip just to protect it. So take it out, you're going to put that through the sponge, twist it around, make sure you get all that kind of excess off. Okay, nice little clean tip. So got our solder ready, and now we're just going to put a little bit on the tip. Again, see all those fumes coming off, so make sure you're not over it. You kind of want to be behind it, and you are in a well ventilated area. So what you're going to do is take your tip, put that kind of on the opposite side, and then just kind of work the solder around the whole connection. So making sure you're not moving it too much or anything, or globbing it on there like that. So once you kind of get it all set, take some off if you want, either by using the soldering gun, or there are little solder removal kind of patches that work the same way. You just kind of touch it in and put solder gun, and it will go into. Yep. So once we got our connection done, again, put a little bit right on the tip of the solder. Turn the soldering gun off. Put that right back in. And then, as you can see, we have our solder connection here. So the wires, you can see, are touching, and then you just got that encasing of the soldering around it. So, and right there, then we are done. And those basically the basics of soldering.